Hello, friends. I hope you're doing well and keeping yourself indoors in this quarantine period. And while we are all locked up inside, why not do something good and learn some linking words and their synonyms? Because in Ielts, you are expected to use a range of vocabulary. Okay, that means you are expected to use different words while trying to say the same word. And if you don't do that, then you may not really score very well in your IELTS. Your IELTS examiner is actually specifically looking for that range of similar words or range of vocabulary. And when this thought hits your mind, you become a little nervous because then you become very conscious, isn't it? And the reason for this nervousness is that in real life, we use very simple words and simple vocabulary, and that too, words that we are very familiar with, isn't it? So in this video, let's look at some most commonly used linking words, and along with that, we'll also try to use certain examples to see how they can be used in different ways. All right, so here we go. But before we go further, I would really like to request all of you to please subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so without further ado, let's move on. The first word that we will look at is the word which I think we all use left, right, and center. Yes, that word is but. So I think every other sentence is where we use this word. Okay, but we do have some good synonyms for it which can be used and which sound more formal and professional as well. Okay, the first one being the word however. If you have to reuse the word but, you can use however instead. However is used to introduce a contrasting idea. Like you want to say that something good is being done, but the results are not showing. Okay, so let's take this sentence as an example. The government is doing everything in its power to control the pandemic. However, it still seems to be spreading. Okay, so here by using the word however, we are just contrasting that the government is doing something good, but then the results are not coming out. Another word that you can use is although. So the next word we would be using is although. It's almost the same meaning, but it is used in a different way. Let's look at the same sentence and try to use the word although. So, although the government is doing everything in its power to control the pandemic, it still seems to be spreading. So, we started the sentence with although, and we are saying, although the government is doing everything, the pandemic is still spreading. The next word that comes up is despite. Again, over here, I'm using it as the start of the sentence. It can be used in the beginning of a sentence and also in the middle of a sentence. Another word that we can use is nevertheless. And a good example of that would be the pandemic has become a challenge for the government to control. Nevertheless, it is trying its best. So the pandemic has become a big challenge, but the government is still trying its best to control it. The next word that comes up is while. And this is one of the most commonly used linking words, and usually it is used to compare two things or two ideas. So you'll see most of this in your IELTS essay questions. So let's see an example. Jack likes playing cricket while Jill likes to play with dolls. So here we are comparing Jack and Jill. So Jack likes to play cricket, but Jill likes to play with dolls. Okay, the next word that comes up is whereas, another word which can be used in place of while. Let's look at the example. Some people feel that the lockdown is good for the safety of people, whereas others think it is a hindrance to economy. Now let's come to the contrasting of ideas. On the other hand. On the other hand is used when we are talking about two opposite ideas. Like, for example, women like shopping very much. On the other hand, men are more keen on watching sports. So, on one hand, women like shopping very much, but the totally opposite things, the men are more interested in watching sports. Another word that can be used in place of on the other hand is in contrast. Women like shopping very much, but men, in contrast, are more keen on sports. Ah, and here comes a word which we keep on repeating and repeating and repeating. And the word is and. Okay, what can we use in place of and? Along with. Let's look at the example. Regular practice, along with a dedicated study regime, can significantly impact your IELTS score. So here in place of and we have used along with. Another one as well as. Let's look at the example. Efforts by the farmers have brought success as well as prosperity to the nation. Again, this is used in place of and. And there's another word which can be used in place of and that is besides. And here's how we use it. Besides regular practice, a dedicated study regime can impact your IELTS score significantly. All right, so we look only at these words today. And before I end, I would just like to say that there are lots and lots and lots of words which can be used in place of linking words and synonyms which can be used in place of any other thing. However, what matters is the accuracy. Okay, so I have seen many candidates using words just for the sake of using words. They do not consider the accuracy of it. That is not going to give you a good band score. That is something I will discuss in another video because that really needs a lot of more discussion, and I would be coming up with more examples. So if you want that kind of a video, please do comment below. All right, so for today, that's it, and good.